Starting evidence. Detective Bassett calls it in. Detective Bassett gently slides open the door to Lord Heathcliff's office and peers inside with a torch. Convinced nobody's lying in wait, he clasps his walkie-talkie and mumbles into it.
This is Detective Bassett reporting in. I received a call from Heathcliff Manor, Wuthering Heights Drive, about an alleged murder. Suspects are still in the building until backup arrives. It appears the deceased is Lord Heathcliff. Cause of death to be determined by coroner, but blunt force trauma to head and proximity of swimming pool suggests he was hit with a nearby candlestick and left to drown. There are no eyewitnesses to the murder. I've yet to take statements from the suspects, who had assembled for a party in honour of Lord Heathcliff's newest wife.
Sifting through the contents of the leather-topped oak desk in front of him, Detective Bassett pulls out some cassette tapes.
I'm now in Lord Heathcliff's office, and I'm looking at 3 cassette tapes which the deceased has apparently used to record messages to be played after his death. Playing tape 1 now.
He shoves a tape into a cassette player on the desk and hits play, narrowly missing the record button at the same time. The voice of Lord Heathcliff crackles to life.
I'm not sure if this is rewound enough or not, though for God's sake. And that's how you deal with badgers. Which would mean the light bulb would never need replacing. If you're listening to this, I'm dead now. In a way, that makes me glad, as I can stop recording these missives every day. On most other levels, however, I'm deeply disappointed not to be alive. More disturbingly, this recording is marked "if murdered," which means my natural causes and in the throes of passion recordings aren't being played, so one of you miscreants has bumped me off. And I can tell you who did it right now. It was... Let me just try and turn up the volume on this contraption.
Act 1 Evidence. Letters and lists. Detective Bassett stands in the middle of Lord Heathcliff's office, now on a mobile phone.
They're making a right racket in the dining room. It sounds like they're still having a party, even though someone has just been murdered.
He shakes his head. Pressing the phone against his ear, Detective Bassett continues to rifle through the documents on the desk. A "Congratulations, you've won" letter from a cereal company. A love letter from someone with old-fashioned handwriting, definitely not signed by M. Fatale. A post-it note with the word badgers and a list of numbers. What does it all mean?
No, sir, I haven't found a bomb. Some joker must have phoned that in. I'm guessing the filing cabinet has business files in, and the desk drawer might have more personal stuff. Which do you want me to pull?
Voting time. Should you examine the filing cabinet? Listen to track 1A. Or examine the desk drawer. Listen to track 1B. Track 1A. You decide to examine the filing cabinet. Detective Bassett forces the filing cabinet open with a crowbar and rummages through the folders within. There's a letter from a professor agreeing to do some background checks on Dr. X, and behind that some employee files. They all pertain to staff members, but Lord Heathcliff seems to have encoded them with animals instead of names or positions. One of them has the words "Lied About CV" stamped on their folder, along with a picture of a magpie. Track 1B. You decide to examine the desk drawer. Fortunately, the desk drawer isn't locked, just a little stuck, so Bassett tugs it open. Inside, there's a list titled People to Invite, with checkboxes for brother, daughter, fraud, idiot, liar, and lover. Bassett snorts back into his phone.
It's just a guest list, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few family members here. Not sure who the others are, though.
Act 2 Evidence. Will in the way.
I'm in his bedroom now.
Reports Detective Bassett. As he darts around Lord Heathcliff's quarters, he immediately spots a notepad on the bedside table and reads it. Insurance claims, missing things, silverware, Stradivarius violin, brother's fiancé?
Lord Heathcliff's insurance cover must be quite comprehensive.
Bassett mutters. He moves over to the opposite side of the room to check the dressing table. Mounted on the wall above the mirror is a small break glass in emergency cabinet. It seems to have Lord Heathcliff's last will and testament inside it. Interesting. Detective Bassett quickly scans the rest of the room. It doesn't look like it's been cleaned lately. Perhaps the maid is having an off day. He speaks into the phone again.
Sir, do you want me to break the glass and get a quick look at the will? Or should I keep looking for clues? There may be something else under all this mess.
Voting time. Should you look at the will? Listen to track 2A. Or look around for something else. Listen to track 2B. Track 2A. You decide to look at the will. Bassett picks up a meerkat ornament and uses it to break the glass. The will is in the form of a scrolled parchment. How pretentious. He unfurls it and quickly scans the text. One beneficiary, my only offspring, seems to inherit almost everything. There seems to be very little in the way of other bequests, although it does mention some cheap-sounding collectibles and a typewriter that's broken anyway. Track 2B. You decide to look around for something else. Detective Bassett sweeps the rest of the room, checking under tables, chairs, and inside wardrobes. He dives under the bed, then reappears holding up a tennis skirt with a pencil, which he drops into an evidence bag. Ducking under the bed again, he comes back up with several crumpled pieces of paper, which he quickly reads through before picking up his phone.
Bassett here. I've found a few things under the victim's bed which will need following up. It looks like a couple of staff members have either resigned or been fired. Could be motive. I also found a betting slip which seems to suggest one of the suspects owed Heathcliff £10 million. Suspicious.
Act 3 Evidence. Crime scene comeback. Lord Heathcliff's body floats ominously on the swimming pool surface, painted in alternating pastels from the mood lighting that illuminates the water. Detective Bassett is crouched nearby, trying to photograph something with his phone. There's a candlestick lying prone next to him. Bassett makes a phone call.
I'm back in the pool room. There's no sign of blood on the candlestick or in the pool, so whilst it could have been used, it's possible he just slipped and fell. I also saw some tyre tracks leading into the pool area, which makes it look like someone's driven a golf buggy in here. I don't really want to touch anything until forensics gets here, but if you're sure, I can go into the pool and take a closer look at the victim, or I can pick up the candlestick to look for more clues.
Voting time. Should you inspect the body, listen to track 3A, or inspect the candlestick, listen to track 3B? Track 3A. You decide to inspect the body.
Right you are, sir.
Detective Bassett ends the call and takes off his shoes and jacket before descending the pyramid steps into the swimming pool. He does a circuit around the body and shakes his head. Nothing. Grabbing hold of an arm in both hands, he quickly twirls Lord Heathcliff in place so he's now face up.
That does potentially look like some bruising, or maybe it's just a pretty large birthmark.
Detective Bassett shrugs.
Hope that helps.
Track 3B. You decide to inspect the candlestick.
Will do. Thank you, sir.
Detective Bassett immediately grabs the candlestick and rotates it around looking for any clues. There's nothing. He places it back down again, but that's when he sees a note. He speed reads it and is immediately back on the phone.
I found a note from the victim's psychiatrist. It sounds like Lord Heathcliff was paranoid someone would kill him, which checks out. It also says something about suing a staff member for fraud, a prenup to protect a meerkat, and that he'd got married just recently before this new one.